Hey guys, it is currently 8:40 in the morning on August 18th, and we're getting into day one of Grimm's next 3-day period here. I do apologize in advance if you can hear my dog snoring behind me. She sleeps in here when I'm working in here. But with Grimm, I am currently at 18,094 words. This 3-day period, I'm aiming for 20,000 words by the end of it, so that is 636 words per day. The other thing that I am working on during this 3-day period is going through the Grimm Reaper document and writing out the to-do list timeline of things that are happening in the plot, so that way I can keep track of it and hopefully keep things more cohesive than the first time. This is the notebook that I'm using for the Grimm Reaper stuff, so that is the only thing that is in this notebook. The only other thing in here is the names and descriptions of characters, which is currently just the main character's name. That's it. That's as far as I got. But things are going well with the timelining here. These are things I don't care if it spoils, so I will hold it up for you so you can hopefully see some of it. And that's the main goal for today. I'm going to be working on this, and once I catch up to where I am in the book, then I will get into writing and I will give you guys an update at that point. But for now, I am balancing between doing the to-do list thing and doing some freelance tasks, so I will see you guys when I have more to tell you on the to-do list part of Grimm Reaper here. So I'm gonna hop back into that, and I'll see you guys hopefully today with a positive update on checklist and writing. Hopefully. It is currently 8:18 in the morning on August 20th, but we're going to go ahead and talk about the end of August 18th for Grimm Progress. Grimm Progress was not huge on the 18th, but I'm still going to tell you about it to wrap out that part of the video. 376 words were written on the 18th for Grimm, and that brought my total in Grimm Reaper to 18,470 words. That's pretty much it. Things are slow and Grimm. Then we're going to move on to the 19th, which is also slow. This would be day 2 of the current 3-day period for Grimm. And on the 19th, I wrote 336 words, which brought my total for Grimm to 18,806 words. Things are so slow there right now. I'm not 100% sure if it's because it's a rewrite or because I can't use the original draft for the majority of the scenes, or because the stuff I'm writing right now is so drastically different than the complete asshole that the main character would have been in the original Grimm Reaper. Because Cheslov is the main character in this one, but he was never the main character in the others, despite the book being named after him. But in the background as a character, he was always a dick. He was a complete asshole. I don't know why anyone should have liked him. And as a main character, since he's not supposed to be the villain, he does need to have a side of him that's likable. He can still be a dick, but it has to balance out with a part of him that's relatable to the audience, or a part of him that the audience will like in some sense of the word. And because I've known him for so long, like maybe 4 years, as a dickhead, it's been an adjustment writing him in a way that makes him human, in a way that makes him relatable and likable. Because when I first wrote this book, I wasn't good at making characters that were relatable or likable or human or developed or anything like that. So I'm doing my best. But in combination, all of those things are drastically slowing down progress. Even here on the 20th, I haven't written much. I am currently at 18,896 words, so I've written 90 words in the entirety here on the 20th. And that's taken me the majority of the morning. I haven't accomplished much. It's been slow as hell. And I'm hoping that things ramp up eventually, but my goal for the end of this 3-day period, which is today, would have been 20,000 words. And that means that today I need to write 1,194 words. And I would love to say yes, that will happen, but I'm not 100% sure that it will. I don't want to say with 100% confidence that there's absolutely no way it can happen, but I do want to say that it's very doubtful that it will, given how things have progressed the last 2 days in this book. I'm still going to keep my fingers crossed that I'll be able to hit it, but we'll see what happens. But that's all that I have right now. You've been updated on the 18th and the 19th, and I will update you guys on the 20th once I have an update to give. Hopefully that update will occur on the 20th instead of like 2 or 3 days later. Depends on my sleep schedule though, so I will hopefully see you guys before I go to bed with a positive update, but we'll see how things go. Grimm is very testy. It is currently 1:37 p.m. on August 21st, and I didn't give you an update on the 20th at the end of the day, but I didn't end up doing anything else after I went to sleep because I woke up after midnight. But on the 20th I wrote 294 words in Grimm, and that brought my total for the book to 19,100 words. And because I was so close to 20,000 already, I gave today, the 21st, to Grimm as well, which means that it got 4 days this time around instead of just 3. So I just hit 20,000 words. I'm very excited about it. I wrote 954 words today in Grimm, and that brought my total to 20,054 words. And I'm very happy with progress. Things have been slow the last few days, yes, but things went well today. They're planning on how to get someone back, and I think the planning phase went very well. I think it was intriguing to see the interactions between characters and who had the plan, as well as Cheslov's thoughts on his ego and how things changed after the situation with his wife and the situation with losing some of their men, which happens before the book begins. The losing their men one is a bigger plot. If I recall correctly. I'm still in the process of taking my notes. Still got that here. I wasn't nearly as far as I thought I was the other day. This is chapter 5 right here, and I'm currently on chapter 10, so getting there. But with the notes, because I'm still in the process, I'm not 100% sure, but either the thing with his wife or the thing where they lost their men, one of those two things revolves around the main plot of the book, and I'll have to go back and check at some point, and it will be in my notes eventually, but right now, because my sleep schedule is so messed up and I've had such a high anxiety day in relation to my little dog, my brain's all kinds of scrambled, so I'm not 100% sure which one it is, but the family responsible for what happened to his wife, or the family responsible for losing a lot of his men, one of the two, or both, I don't know, one of the two or both. The goal of this book is for them to finally once and for all track down that family and take them all out, which is why I'm pretty sure it's the losing of their men one, because that would be equal payback, equal revenge, eye for an eye, and all that. So I think it's that one, but I'll find out and have an answer for you in one of the videos. But as it stands right now, I don't know for sure. Once my brain's less scattered and I'm more composed and have a lesser anxiety day, I imagine I'll have a better answer, but right now I don't know. I just don't. Right now, I'm just excited that I hit 20,000 words in Grimm, and I'm excited that I'm still happy with the book. I know it might seem like a low bar to still be happy with your book after 20,000 words, but I've been writing Grimm since 2015, so knowing that this rewrite is still going well, knowing that I'm still pleased with the way things are coming along, knowing that I'm still enjoying the writing process, even though things are slow some days and faster on other days, that feels very good. But that's all that I have for right now. That's all that I have for today. I'm going to get to work on some other stuff unrelated to this, but potentially related to the Grimm series, just unrelated to this specific book. But I will see you guys when I get back around to Grimm next time. But until then, I've got some other stuff to do. But fingers crossed that Grimm goes well next time. We'll see. Hey guys, it is currently 4:55 p.m. on December 11th, 2020, and we're going to go ahead and get into talking about the Grimm Reaper rewrite. So at this very moment, I have worked on Grimm for 28 days, not in a row. I started this book on July 4th of this year, and things are still slow. Yesterday I worked on it, and that was 174 words written there, and it brought my total to 25,298 words. And I can get you a daily average here in just a second. Approximately 903.5 words per day out of the 28 days that I've worked on it, which isn't horrible. I mean, it's still, you know, up there, which is something, but that's mostly because I had a couple really good days where I got over 1,000 and 2,000 in the beginning. Things have tampered off since then, but things are slow. I think I need to change something with the way that I'm keeping track of what's going on in Grimm. Generally, something I started doing this year, I think, was I was doing a, like, task list. It actually might have been last year, because I feel like I've been doing it since the beginning of the Carver Baxter series, and I don't think I started that this year. But I keep track of a to-do list, basically, for the characters. Anytime they say they're going to do something, I mark it down with a little box, and when they do that thing, I check it off, and it makes sure that most of the things that they say they want to do are done in the first draft, and if they aren't done in the first draft, I know that there's most likely a reason for it. It was interrupted by the antagonist, it was interrupted by life, so on and so forth. The plans changed. But with Grimm, that's just not helping at all. I want to sit down at some point, I think, and jot down everything that has happened so far in a timeline sort manner. I know there are several plot lines going on in the book. There were several plot lines in the original and in the rewrite, and I think all of those wires are crossing, and it's hard to keep track of what's going on, especially for me, because if you're new here, I have hypothyroidism, and I have anxiety, and I also have chronic pain, and we don't know what causes that, so that could contribute as well. But generally I'm in a constant state of brain fog, and I have a lot of issues with how consistent my memory is, and I have a hard time, like, remembering things that I see with my eyes. Sometimes it helps me if I write stuff down by hand afterwards, and then I can remember it a little bit better, but it kind of depends. But I think that's making it hard to keep track of everything that's going on in Grimm. I don't really have a problem balancing multiple books. I enjoy balancing multiple books, but without a note process that works for me, it's very difficult to keep track of them. And it's very difficult to keep track of everything that's going on inside of a singular book on a more personal level. I could tell you what every single one of my books was about on a grand scheme level, but it's the inner workings and the smaller details of each one that I have a harder time clicking with if I'm not specifically looking at the information and if I don't have it right in front of me. But I'll get into that eventually. Grimm is book 6 that I work on out of my rotation. And today I'll be working on book 7 in my rotation, and then I have all the way up through 12 to get through, and then I'm planning on adding a 13th book. But then after that, I can start back at the beginning and work my way up to Grimm. And once I get up to Grimm again, that's probably when I'll start trying to figure out what kind of thing works best for the notes on that one. And when I get to that, I will do my best to update you guys on it. I'm actually going to add a note on my Google Tasks thing to remind me to record something for Grimm. Sorry if you heard that. That was my alarm to feed Willie. But I'm going to set an alarm or a reminder, whatever, on Google to remind me to film this video for you once I get around to it. But otherwise, today the goal is to get some more writing done in some other books and potentially get some stuff done with my room and setting up the closets, the closet doors. But we will see, and I will keep you guys posted to the best of my ability.